All right, so today I want to talk to you about one of the most important things that a freight broker has, and that's his customer base. There's nothing more important than the customer. And when you think about it, a freight broker cannot make money if he does not have customers. So it's very important that you get customers, good customers, and you pay very close attention to the customers and you provide great services to those customers. But you can't get so locked in on a customer or two or three customers. You can't get so locked in on those customers that you forget about your customer acquisition process, your way, your method to the madness of bringing on new customers. New customers is what will allow for you to stay in business. If you just focus on the customers that you have, they will leave you at some point. And when those customers leave you, you're scrambling trying to get new customers at that point. Yes, you can get new customers after you've lost customers, but it's better to get new customers while you still have a customer base. That's just common sense, right? I don't want to wait until I lose my customers to start to go out to get new customers, because then I'm starting at zero. I want money to always be flowing in. If I have money flowing in, the best time for you to go out and look for new customers is when that money is flowing. Don't wait till the money flow or the cash flow to stop before you start going out to get new customers. New customers is key for your success as a freight broker. Let me tell you a story. I was moving freight for a particular customer. It's a refrigerated customer. We were doing great job with that customer. Never missing any of our pickup times, always communicating when something happened. That customer was really happy with the service that we were providing, but something out of my control happened. They had a rodent breakout at one of their facilities, one of the main facilities that we pick up most of our freight at. They had a rodent breakout. And guess what happened? That means that all of our freight stopped out of that particular facility. And because I had paid so much attention to that customer and I was worried about just providing a service to that customer, I wasn't bringing on new customers. And when that customer shut down for that period of time, so did my revenue. So now I'm scrambling, trying to bring on new customers. But that would be different if money was still flowing in. But because so much of my revenue was impacted because of that one customer, then it's going to put you in a very stressful situation. So you as a broker should always be bringing on new customers. Here's how I look at it. If you are in a situation where you got 5 days in the week, you're moving loads, you need to make time within those days where you say, hey, I'm going to focus X amount of hours on my customer acquisition process. I'm going to focus X amount of days. Maybe it's 1 day a week. I'm just going to focus on my new customers, calling customers, talking to them about the service that I have, and trying to get new business. Because new business is what's going to keep you in business. At some point, those other customers are going to leave you, regardless of how well you're doing with those customers. Sometimes it's out of your control. Sometimes it's because of performance. Something happens, they get upset with you, and they leave you. So you cannot put all of your eggs or too many of your eggs in one basket. You got to make sure you're doing your due diligence on your new customer base and saying, hey, let me start checking these customers out. Let me find out what it is that they want. Let me offer my service to them so that I can get new business, because that's how you always keep money coming in. If you don't do that, you'll find yourself in a situation where your money gets interrupted and then you're stressed out because you don't have money coming in. And now you're trying to get customers when you don't have any money coming in. And that is going to make you feel in a way that you just say, man, you're going to be uneasy, right? And you don't want that. So always stay on top of your game. Always be bringing in new customers. I cannot stress that to you enough, that your new customer base is what's going to allow for you to stay in business, what's going to allow for you to keep making money over a long period of time. I know some of you say, hey, there's not enough time in the day for me to bring on new customers and focus on the customers that I have. Well, I get that. When you're servicing customers and you're moving freight, they can take up a lot of your time. But you're either going to have to do it yourself or you're going to have to hire somebody to bring on new customers. You cannot, listen to me and listen to me well, you cannot just act as if this is not important and servicing the customers that you have is more important. I get you want to make sure that those customers are happy so that they'll keep giving you freight, but you have to bring on new customers because that's what's going to allow for you to make money over time and keep making that money. So make sure that you refine your customer acquisition process. The reason why we hate the customer acquisition process so much is because a lot of us don't have a method to the madness. You don't have a documented way of how you bring on customers. So when you start doing it, it's a job, it's a headache because you don't have something that you're doing over and over and over again that makes sense to you, right? It's hard for you to do it because it's not documented. You need to document your processes. You need to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and you have to go through that process over and over and over and over again until you find something that works so that you can get customers and keep getting customers. That's how this process works. If you are one of those types of people who are not into people, you don't like calling customers, you don't like the fact that you have to call people who are not expecting your call, this is going to be a very difficult business for you. As a matter of fact, it's not going to work. So you have to get yourself into a position where you say, you know what? There are certain things that I have to do. There's a way that I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do this X amount of times per week. I'm going to talk to X amount of customers. And that's going to allow for you to bring on a number of those customers. You see, you should know how many customers it's going to take for you to talk to so that you can get a new customer. It might be 20. It might be 25. Some of you, it might be 50 customers that you have to talk to before you get one. Well, if you know you got to talk to 25 or 30 customers before you get one, then it's a numbers game. And once you figure out the numbers, you figure out the game. At the end of the day, freight brokering is not very difficult at all, but it does require discipline, time, effort, and a lot of your energy. If you're willing to give that, you can make it as a freight broker. If not, you won't. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Certainly hope this information was helpful. Until the next time, see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded.